Let's talk about citing sources. After you've found a source that you would like to use, for example, this website about sports concussions, you need to cite your source if you're going to use information from it. You could use a generator, a MLA citation generator, and that's okay. However, the citation's only going to be as accurate as you make it accurate. So just because you're using a generator does not mean you're going to get the correct source. It's better that you understand how a source should be formatted so you know if what's produced by a generator is correct or not. So for a website, there are a few basic things that you're going to have to include. The title of the website, who created the website, the sponsor, the date of last update, etc. So if I'm using something like the Purdue OWL, which is the online writing lab, I'm going to look for this type of source. So it's a website. So if I look through here, it says books, periodicals. Well, it's an electronic source because a website is on the web. So we're going to click there, and then we're going to scroll down, and we see basic style for citations of electronic sources. And it tells us what usual information we need in it. And then it's got specific templates for creating our citations. So to cite an entire website, which is what we're about to do, we need the editor, author, or compiler name, if available, name of site, version number, name of institution/organization, date of resource creation, the medium of publication, and the date of access. And then we've got two examples here that are correctly cited. So the first thing it said was an editor, author, or compiler name if available. So let's look at the website here. Sports Concussion Institute seems to be the sponsor. Usually a sponsor has a logo somewhere near the top of the page. You could also look under the About Us, and usually it'll tell you information about the people contributing. If I scroll down, I can see again Sports Concussion Institute, so that's telling me who the sponsor is, but it's still not telling me a specific name of who created it. Sometimes websites will have article authors on it. This one does not. So since this one does not have a specific author, we're going to leave it blank. Remember, it said if available. So in this case, it is not available. If it's not available, you start with the name of the site. The name of this website is Concussion Facts. So I'm going to go ahead and put that as the name of the website. Now you'll notice that it said name of the website, and that's in italics. So I need for my citation to have italics on the name of the website. Then there was a period after it. So I'm going to add a period. I don't need italics anymore. And then a single space. The next thing that it says is version number. Now there might not be a version number. Nowhere on here does this say that this website was replaced by another website. Scrolling down again, no version number. Now you'll notice the places I'm going are the very bottom of the page and the very top of the page. That's where the information is going to be that you need to cite the website. Okay, so there's no version number. So I'm going to skip that. Name of institution or organization affiliated with the site, sponsor or publisher. So that was Sports Concussion Institute. So that's the next thing I'm going to add. Sports Concussion Institute, period. You'll notice that that was just in regular writing, no italics, and it had a comma after it. So I need not a period, but a comma. Then it says date of resource creation, if available. So we're going to see down here it says copyright 2008 to 12. So that means that it was created in 2008. So I'm going to put that on my date of creation. And it says through 12. So now you have to decide. Do I want 2008 when it was created, or do I want 2012 because that's when it was last updated? My recommendation is to do the most recent date possible. So we're going to put 2012. Then it says, period, medium of publication. Medium means what kind of source are you looking at? In this case, we're looking at the web. So we put web, period. And then the last thing it asks for is date of access. So we're going to put today's date for the date of access. So 18 February 2016, period. You'll notice that I put the day, the month spelled out, and then the year. There's only a single space between periods, and I followed exactly what the formatting guide said. If it said to put italics, I put italics. If it said period, I put period. If it said comma, I put comma. The reason that's so important is because just in math, when you have a formula, if you don't fill the right information in the right space, you get a different answer. So with Works Cited, if you don't fill the right information in the right order in the right space, whoever's reading your essay may think that information came from somewhere else. The whole purpose of a Works Cited is to indicate which works you are citing or using within your essay. So it's essential that it's correct in case somebody wants to go look at those sources to get further information. Now, the next thing I'm going to note about the Works Cited page is that it should be in alphabetical order. So if my next citation starts with an A, for example, so perhaps the last name was Andrews and first name was Jane, and the name of the website was Sports Concussions, and it was sponsored by the NFL, and it was updated last year. I found it on the web and I accessed it today. Now this one, since it starts with an A, needs to go above the other one. The other thing I need to do is go ahead and make sure that this is double spaced. So in Google Docs, I click on this button right here and click double, and now it's double spaced. I also need to title this Works Cited because this is my Works Cited page. Now, if I have a resource that goes over one line, all of these have been just one line, but let's say, for example, I'm citing just one page on the website. Instead of using all the different pages, I only accessed one page. So let's say it was this Andrews one, that on the Sports Concussion page, I only accessed the one titled Prevention. I would put that page in front of the title of the website, and I'm going to put it in quotation marks. Now I had it 2 lines long, so you have to make sure this is a hanging indent at this point. Okay, so the way that you're going to do that isn't the same button as the double spacing. Instead, you're going to highlight what you want to indent, take this little arrow here, and go in 1/2 inch. And then this one, you take the rectangle and you go back out. So the arrow goes in so that everything under it is indented, and then the first line that box goes back out, that rectangle, and that's called a hanging indent. It's opposite of a regular paragraph. Instead of the first line being indented and everything else comes to the left, the first line is to the left and everything else in that citation is indented. I know it's time for my next citation when the line is out to the left again. So this is citation 1 and 2. I don't have any numbers on the citation. I don't have any bullet points. All I have to do is the hanging indent and put it in alphabetical order and double space it. And it's easy to see which sources are which, and I can go back and look those sources up because they're correctly formatted.